Cold and hungry riots are starting in Moscow and the regions. Putin wanted to freeze Ukraine, but right under his nose, Moscow, St. Petersburg, the Moscow region, Murmansk, Severomorsk, Omsk, Petersburg, and dozens of other cities are freezing. We are miserable people. A utilities collapse has engulfed the entire country on the eve of February. People are left without heating, water, and electricity. I live here. My child is freezing in the middle of winter at minus 20 degrees. Temperatures have dropped to minus 30 degrees, and all across Russia, the entire country is freezing. This is not just a natural disaster, it is the direct and heavy cost of the ongoing war. People are left wondering what is even going on with the world right now.
A special operation occurred. Kremlin propagandists speak in unison,
shouting about endurance. Endure it, because this is the price of war. War is expensive. War is not free, because we are all paying for
this war, for this special operation. Dear Vladimir Vladimirovich,
Mass protests are sweeping across Russia.
You are out of your mind. You have lost your mind. Just quit social media.
We're not North Korea, we're Russia.
The economy is crashing.
Stagflation and Russian protests crazy.
Wars everywhere, authorities, Moscow to the regions, it's a cycle.
You have abandoned the authorities. With one hand you do all this.
I actually gave it to them, and then after that,
you took everything from the people and abandoned them. Now, we are declaring a hunger strike. Moscow is buried in snow, with roads blocked and trucks unable to enter the city.
It's unreal. Leningradskoye.
Gorkovskoye, Domodedovskoye.
Highways are jammed for kilometers. After a brief move, everything stopped again, leaving people stuck for hours. Near the Rimsky complex, Muscovites are even pushing buses out of snowdrifts to reach work. On the MCAD, many are simply abandoning cars to walk.
Everything here is completely at a standstill.
It's faster to just walk than to wait for things to start moving. Everyone is going uphill like this, and we're all walking together on foot.
Everything's stalled here.
It's faster than waiting for the system to start moving. What is even going on? I want to show you the conditions we're living in thanks to our
creepy management. It's pitch black on Sverdlovo.
It's the same here. Meanwhile, in Moscow, there's a real snow collapse and an explosion at the CHP plant. Here it is. Take a look. In a truly unprecedented turn of events that has caught many by surprise, for the very first time in history, two specific and prominent districts located within the city of Moscow have suddenly plunged into a state of significant decline and uncertainty. Moscow and Omsk face blackouts and riots amid freezing temperatures.
Water was pouring out, boiling hot, there was no frost, and it was impossible to breathe.
Now it's just winter in our stairwell.
The houses inside near the boiler rooms are in a terrible state.
The freezing residents of Omsk staged an uprising right on the roadway. Instead of fixing the burst pipe, the traffic police fined them. Let there be a traffic jam, people. Boiling leaks and freezing homes sparked Omsk road protests. Police fined residents who blame government inaction.
Across Russia, you left. The authorities, you abandoned our people.
Left us. We are miserable. It's a vicious cycle. It's like with one hand you gave us all this, and with the other you took it all back.
I am deeply concerned and fearful of what is currently unfolding in our country, especially the specific issues we face.
Of poverty. We are setting an example for everyone of how not to live and how not to...
We need to survive. And I constantly remember Andrei Dmitrievich Sakharov and his words. To save humanity, it was necessary throw an atomic bomb at the Kremlin.
There are no houses. The money has disappeared. Kursk Oblast nuke the Kremlin. Homes and money, gone. Kursk region cut 65,000 ruble refugee payments.
Went to the administration. Dear Vladimir Vladimirovich, we have been left without our homes and other property. We had to seek shelter in other cities and villages. The decision of the government of the Russian Federation in December of this year to cancel the monthly payments of 65,000 rubles has caused despair among the majority of residents in the border Kursk region.
In Penza, citizens are holding pickets to protest the sudden internet shutdown. Similar disruptions are being reported in Moscow and St. Petersburg as well. In general, there is a widespread internet outage across these regions, leaving many with no connection at all. Furthermore, messaging services like WhatsApp have been significantly slowed down, making it very difficult for people to communicate.
Russia's collapsing from war and strikes. Russia is freezing. The city of Moscow, in particular, is experiencing extremely cold weather.
Region.
The cities of Zhukovsky, Chekhov. Residents write that their rooms are like ice boxes. Tomorrow it will be -25. Several towns in the Moscow region have been left without heating right before a severe cold snap. St. Petersburg. In some districts there was no heating for more than a day.
Including
City center.
Fontanka's dark and creepy from bombings and blackouts. The Kremlin's panicking.
It is situated right within the vast Moscow region.
Muscovites are freezing and shouting. The city of Engels. Residents are complaining about a catastrophic situation. Power's out, building hit again, no work, Moscow's freezing. Engels, which strikes Ukraine's grid, now has no heat. Karma.
Ever since the 13th of January, we have witnessed a steady progression of events that have shaped our current situation. From that specific day until now, the timeline has been filled with various developments that continue to influence our daily lives and the decisions we make as we move forward into the future.
We have an emergency shutdown of hot water and heating. The boiler room is in a terrible state. Zhukovsky is suffering. Buildings lack utilities for 2 days. It's -30 outside, walls are icy, and pipes are bursting. Heating points are down. A major accident has occurred.
When we talk about 20 below, we are describing a temperature that sits at 20 degrees below zero. This level of extreme cold feels incredibly sharp and biting against any exposed skin. At such low temperatures, it is absolutely essential to wear heavy layers and protective gear to stay safe. Without proper clothing, the freezing air can become dangerous very quickly, making it one of the most intense winter conditions one can experience.
The temperature in apartments is +6 and +8 degrees. Power line outages. The city's plunged into darkness. 40% of public transport stopped running. Hospitals switched to backup diesel generators. One of the pharmacists told local journalists, people were buying everything, candles, matches, thermoses, rations. They asked if we had kerosene lamps. Murmansk is without power. Blizzards and ice buildup brought down power line poles. The Severomorsk district of Murmansk is without electricity, communication, or heating.
And
this is quite honestly just absolutely and completely simple.
Within our local community district,
Leninsky district evacuated during a Murmansk blackout.
Total disaster, food for survivors, Ukraine is shelling. CHP plants, Moscow region, Belgorod, Bryansk, Kursk, Oriol, and Taganrog. The bathhouse.
Everything's falling apart, damn it.
Belgorod, Bryansk, Orenburg, Orsk, CHP plants and substations in...
By strikes, this is fucked up. The second span.
in a row, damn it. Unbelievable. 500,000 Russians without
both light and heat. It is a total freeze. In Belgorod, people's lips are literally freezing. A humanitarian catastrophe. A humanitarian catastrophe. The armed forces of Ukraine carried out the most massive shelling of Belgorod since the beginning of the war using HIMARS rockets. We experienced a real, almost
complete blackout. That is, the entire city and part of the region were truly plunged into darkness. In Belgorod,
in the region, there is no electricity, no water, no heat, and the generators aren't working. You need to get a generator for yourself. The generators, you need to get generators for yourself. I understand that incomes vary and not every family can do this. The war correspondent is howling the ring.
Around Moscow is tightening. There is no electricity, no water, basically nothing. They still haven't provided anything, and it's unclear what
will happen next. An extremely difficult period has begun, and the protection of one's own home, for the most part, of course, is
in your own hands. Along our rather large shopping street, there are lots of stores, pizzerias, fast food places, well, just like everywhere else, but nothing is working. There is no electricity anywhere at all. Right now, I went into the metro to get some water. I wonder if there's any left or not. Judging by the dim lighting, this shopping center is quite large. It's running on a generator. I'm curious, the traffic lights aren't working. But what about the cameras?
I wonder if they are still monitoring the traffic at this moment or not.
Total blackouts? A systemic collapse in Russia? What's happening with food prices? What are people supposed to eat?
Wait, let me get this straight. Are we really just going to sit down and have a meal of plain pasta with nothing but boiling water?
prices up, sizes down. 330 ruble cucumbers in 2026. Avito stores are closing. Business owners, and they're not even shy about it, openly write that it's because of the VAT increase.
In Moscow, the richest region of Russia, the question isn't whether to close or not. The question is when to close.
We have a small family business, a bakery. We fully understand that the country is in a difficult situation. We understand that tax increases
is a necessity. Money, budget money. As we've already said, there is a severe shortage of budget funds, and it will only get worse.
There is total devastation there, for which Putin, the Kremlin, and the Russian murderers who are destroying Ukraine are responsible. Kyiv and other cities in Ukraine are freezing because Putin's attacks freeze Ukraine, missiles and drones at Ukraine. The Moscow region, St. Petersburg, and other Russian cities are freezing because Putin, along with his regime and the Kremlin, is launching missiles and drones at Ukraine instead of spending those billions of dollars to repair their own heating systems, sewage, power plants, boiler rooms, and elevators. One wants to say the silent, obedient herd is freezing in their homes all across Russia. But there is one big but, a moment in time, that simply refuses to fade away.
It is crucial to understand that the person in this situation does not fall prey to these circumstances despite the challenges faced, but instead remains the master of their own path.
It's an accomplice. I often recall Andrei Sakharov, whom I knew. He said to save humanity, the Kremlin needed an atomic bomb. I'm Valentina, living at 43 Sovetskaya St. Engels. This appeal is for Alexander Bastrikin. Since December's heating season, our hot water and heat aren't regulated. Since January 13th, it's an emergency. Teploresurz LLC services my building, plus 1 Volgogradsky Lane, 39 Stepnaya, and 37 Stepnaya. The residents living at 20 Zeleny Lane, 69 Petrovskaya Street, 20 and 12 Elva Kosilya, and 35 A Stepnaya, as well as numerous other residential addresses throughout the city of Engels that they currently service, and there really are a great many of them, have all faced the severe problem of their hot water and heating being completely shut off. Ever since the day of January 13th, for a whole entire week now, the temperature inside the apartment was only 13 to 15 degrees, and at most other addresses, it remains exactly the same. That is to say, the local boiler houses were not started up at all. They are currently trying to get them running. According to the heating utility, and I personally went to see them myself. They are trying to start them up now, but they say the main problem is with the water utility and the energy companies.
On their behalf. Hello, esteemed Alexander Ivanovich Bastikin. I am writing to you as a resident of the city of Engels, Karina Galaika. At the moment, I am a resident of Engels, living at 13 Telman Street. We have a boiler house at 1 Volgogradsky Lane. The boilers at this address, 1 Volgogradsky Lane, require repairs. There are supposed to be 3 boilers operating there, but at the moment, supposedly, as one manager explained to me, the administration says that 2 boilers are working there, but at the moment, I think there is actually only 1 boiler running. The boiler house itself is in a terrible state inside. In short, there are a bunch of trucks here. I don't even know how many. It seems to me they stayed here overnight. Well, now that our lane is finally clear, we're going to be leaving now. And here, everything is just at a standstill. 1 boiler works in the wrecked house. Trucks are stuck, but we're leaving. Just a little bit left, some turns, my house. But I have a feeling we're stuck here for another half hour or so. Everything is uphill like this, and we're all walking together on foot. Everything here is at a standstill. Just a little bit left, some turns, my house.
But I have a feeling we're stuck here for another half hour or so. Everything is uphill like this, and we're all walking together on foot. Everything here is just completely at a standstill.
So you can definitely expect us to arrive sometime by the evening. Right now, I have to start heading all the way back uphill as well. These experienced ones really know how to make things probably a bunch of trucks here. I don't even know how many. I think they stayed overnight. Our lane cleared up, we started moving, and here everything is just at a standstill again. And basically, there are probably a bunch of trucks here. I don't even know how many. I think they stayed overnight. Our lane finally cleared, so we started moving. And here everything is just